Hello, I'm Comptroller Darlene Green, and today on It's Your Money, we'll tell you about a jobs program for the City of St. Louis. STL Youth Jobs is a pilot program developed to provide some much-needed jobs to our young people in the city. We'll also tell you how you can get involved coming up next on It's Your Money.
Streeper. The goal of STL Youth Jobs is to create employment for teens and youth between the ages of 16 and 23. 17-year-old Antonio Crawford is a self-described people person who credits the pilot program with preparing him to find his first full-time job.
Yes, I look for many jobs all the time. One job did respond back, but it was a too late notice. And so I kind of missed that one, so I'm really looking forward to this opportunity.
Crawford previously studied fashion at Roosevelt High School. Outside of high school, his goal is to study music, theater, and acting. What does your family think about this whole thing?
Actually, they like it a lot because I've been struggling with getting myself together for jobs and stuff like this. So when we heard about the opportunity, we just knew it was just a right-on shot, and so we just took it and ran with it.
This is the first year for STL Youth Jobs, and it's a pilot.
Bridget Flood is the executive director of the Incarnate Word Foundation. The foundation is taking a leadership role in securing resources and other partnerships.
STL Youth Jobs is a program that developed out of the Mayor's Task Force on Youth Violence Prevention, because there are a lot of issues for our young people today, especially in low-income areas, lack of employment being a key area of need. One thing that we're finding is that young people have a very hard time attaching themselves to the mainstream economy because there aren't a lot of jobs in their communities in some cases. And so STL Youth Jobs is an attempt to provide youth with meaningful summer employment so that they're connected to the mainstream economy and they're able to become more employable as they grow older.
For the pilot, STL Youth Jobs will encompass 2 neighborhood clusters. On the city's north side, this includes Baden, Mark Twain, Penrose, and the O'Fallon neighborhood. On the city's south side, this includes Grabway Park, Dutchtown, and the Tower Grove East neighborhood. Why do you think there's such a disconnect between them and the mainstream?
Well, I think in some of our neighborhoods, particularly the areas that we're targeting, we've had a lot of disinvestment by business. And in some cases, the young people may not know people who have full-time employment because we have areas of the city with high unemployment. And so this is a real opportunity for them to have jobs, to have mentoring relationships at work, relationships with caring adults.
The goal is to raise $2,000 for each of the 500 jobs. $2,000 will fund a single job for the 8-week summer program, totaling 160 hours.
The wages are paid by the grant, which makes this such a wonderful opportunity for everybody.
Hilary WAGNER is the Vice President of Employment Training for MERS Goodwill.
MERS Goodwill is providing the actual kind of feet-on-the-ground service of recruiting youth and recruiting work sites to host youth workers at their businesses over the summer. And so we're providing the case management then for the youth to make sure that that process goes as smoothly as possible.
In an effort to help as many young people as possible, factors including household income and grade point average will not be taken into consideration.
The eligibility is very unique for this program. The eligibility is 100% geography and age, and that is all there is to it. If they live in one of those 7 focus neighborhoods, and they're within the ages of 16 and 23, it's a matter of first come, first serve within the number of slots that we're able to have.
I would like to do landscaping, any job with landscaping in it.
17-year-old Daniel Clemens is an 11th grader who lives in the Baden area. So far, he has no work experience, but he's eager to change that.
Because I think it'll help, give me more experience on working, work ethics and all. So I think it's the best thing for me. That's why.
To prepare for the job interviews he'll face, Clemens attended an STL Youth Jobs workshop at the Dunn Marquette Recreation Center.
What does your family think about the program? Have they said anything?
They said it's a good opportunity for me.
In the neighborhoods that were chosen on the north side of the city and the south side, they were chosen for a reason. It was a decision made by a few different parties, and it was including UMSL. There was some analysis of different neighborhoods in the city, and so they really were focusing on areas that had a high population of youth, a significant need when it comes to economic indicators, and then also that had some of those community assets that would make it more sustainable over time.
The goal of STL Youth Jobs is to have the youth obtain jobs in the neighborhoods they live in.
It's really two things. Because we've been working with youth for a long time, we know the types of positions that more often than not they're going to be more interested in. It tends to be a lot of interest in retail and childcare, clerical work to an extent also. There are a few other areas, but those are the biggies. And so we start recruiting work sites with a lot of those areas in mind.
We're willing to do whatever is necessary to make the program successful.
Amelia Bond is with the Greater St. Louis Community Foundation.
And so it made a lot of sense when Incarnate Word, when Bridget Flood approached me and said, would you be our fiscal agent, because it's an independent organization. You know, we only represent donors. Well, these are donors that are giving $2,000 per job, and we can aggregate the funds here, and then we'll distribute the funds according to the advisory board of STL Youth Jobs.
According to Bond, STL Youth Jobs is not a city or a corporate project. It's more donor-based.
If we can keep kids feeling productive and you know, have a job, experience a job, have money in their pocket, and it's part of life. And to not have a youth jobs program is, I just think it's tremendous effort that everybody is coming together around this. It's a great experience, and the Community Foundation's really pleased to have a role.
At a kickoff breakfast, local leaders came together to discuss a common goal for the program.
We're here for two reasons, basically, and you know, basically there's two reasons. One is to give our kids the very best opportunities to reach their full potential in our region. That is absolutely important, and everything we're doing in the future is going to depend on our ability to do that. The other thing is, from the economic development and competitive standpoint, it's important that we have the best educated people, the best educated workforce, so that we can attract and keep jobs here in our region and be competitive against cities all over the United States and the world.
The program idea came as a result of the Mayor's Youth Violence Task Force and the Commission on Children, Youth, and Families.
Getting kids a job builds self-esteem. It also teaches life skills. It gives them money in their pocket and keeps them out of trouble. These are all great things and helps them in school. So we can't be doing, I think for a summer program, we can't be doing more for our kids than giving them a job. To give them all these benefits.
I am glad to be called upon as a partner. I am glad to be working with the mayor. I'm glad to be working with the community organizations. I'm going to say that I'm all in support. As a matter of fact, as I understand, this is modeled after jobs programs that I supported for many years. And as a matter of fact, some of the corporate supporters have already contributed.
Comptroller Green is a member of the STL Youth Jobs Oversight Committee. It is composed of civic, business, and philanthropic leaders who will advise and oversee the administration, strategic direction of the program, as well as use of the fund.
This is not a one-shot effort. This is something that we're going to build into a much more robust program.
The City of St. Louis is providing $100,000 to fund 50 jobs from the Youth at Risk funds, appropriated by the Board of Aldermen through the Public Safety Committee. Slate and the Metropolitan St. Louis CRA Association will coordinate financial literacy training for the students.
So they're desperate for mentoring too, and that's a key component of our program. When we connect people to the jobs, they will be mentored, they will receive financial literacy. The city's gotten a grant that Mike Holmes is going to be doing with that part of the program, and we're going to follow up with them during the year.
Higher education is one of the tickets, and the other ticket are more abundant jobs.
Other major cities are seeing great success with similar programs.
Boston is a city similar in size to St. Louis, and they have 10,000 jobs. Detroit, 1,800 jobs. Cleveland, 1,700 jobs, and I could go on and on. So it's time to have a program like this here in St. Louis.
Nationwide, unemployment for those between 16 and 24 years of age is more than 16%. 1.3 million of these young people have been jobless for 6 months or longer.
There are areas of our city that have unemployment that's at least twice the national average. And when I go out and I'm meeting with community groups in North St. Louis, people are coming up to me all the time asking me if I have jobs for people. Can you just help us get a job? Can you just help my son or my daughter get a job?
Have you done a resume yet?
Yes.
Sounds like you've already got some stuff to put on there.
Yes.
That's a good thing. 17-year-old Alisa TALIAFERRO is an 11th grader with no paid work experience so far. However, she's volunteered at a nursing home, with MERS Goodwill, and in several middle schools.
The place I would love to work is with kids. But I love babies and all kinds, and toddlers and all kinds of kids.
TALIAFERRO lives in the Baden area of North St. Louis. She also attended the jobs workshop at the Dunn Marquette Recreation Center.
The type of skills that I learned was the resumes and to come dressed appropriate.
That's something that employers have the opportunity to do today, and that is to teach and to be a coach and to be a mentor. That's the opportunity that companies have today, is to be that coach for these youth, these challenged youth in our community.
Prospective employers include businesses, nonprofits, community and faith-based organizations. Eagle Bank is one of those businesses that pledged their support.
I'm proud to be a part of this. We have committed to not only financial support, but we have also committed to a job. I have a lot of young people that work at the bank, and I've had a lot of young people who work at the bank that are now senior members, senior officers, and part of the executive team of the institution. People who have been with the bank now for 20 and 30 years. And there's nothing that gives me more pride than to look at that and say, I hired them when they were in high school.
Some other businesses on board include Anheuser-Busch, Emerson Electric, and the Archdiocese of St. Louis. I'm Melanie Streeper reporting.
To donate to the program, visit stluthjobs.org. If you are a young person between the ages of 16 and 23 and live in the city, north or south, visit mersgoodwill.org for job information. I'm Comptroller Darlene Green. Thanks so much for watching It's Your Money, and we'll see you next time.